Flags ride. They were dangling up to 30 feet in the air for hours after a roller coaster problem. A large tree branch fell on the Ninja roller coaster at Six Flags Magic Mountain, caused at least one car to come off the tracks. Last July, Six Flags down in Texas, in Arlington, shut down a coaster after a woman there was thrown from her seat and she was killed.
Time now 6:55. A wildfire is still burning in Wyoming this morning. The Lake Owen fire is burning about 30 miles west of Laramie. At last check, 300 acres have burned. There are evacuations underway for some small communities and campers. Crews are being called in from as far away as Craig to help get this fire under control. The storm that rolled through yesterday evening brought rain and lightning to all parts of the metro area. Here's a look at the 18,000 block of East Atlantic Drive in Aurora. Trees and limbs were scattered all over the road. There were also power outages across the metro area. Many of those have now been fixed.
We are still getting your viewer photos from last night. We love seeing what the storms look like across the state. So if you want to send us those photos or what it looks like near you this morning, just do so on the Your Take tab at the top of the 9news.com homepage. You can also tweet us using the hashtag 9WX.
6:56 right now in sports. The Rockies waking up this morning with the worst record in the major league. Wow. Yikes. Colorado couldn't just get their bats going against the Padres last night at Coors Field. The game was delayed for a little while because of the rain. Then when it started up again, San Diego broke the game open in the 7th with a 2-run double. The Rockies ended up losing 6-1.
Cleveland Cavaliers believe LeBron James is listening to their pitch to leave the Miami Heat and come on back home. Sources telling ESPN that James is increasingly considering the Cavs as an option. Gamblers taking some notice. More bets have been placed now on Cleveland to win the 2015 NBA title than any other team at the Las Vegas Superbook. Today's show is going to have more on LeBron's possible return to Cleveland. That's coming up in just a few minutes as well.
It would be a big get for them.
Love him, hate him.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't know what to do. All right, so a New York man caught on camera sleeping at a Yankees game is filing a $10 million defamation lawsuit against 2 ESPN broadcasters. Check it out. The fan, Andrew Rector, admitted that he briefly fell asleep during the April 13th game between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Rector said the announcers used an avalanche of disparaging words when describing him. ESPN, Major League Baseball, and the Yankees are all named as defendants in the suit.
I'm watching the guy next to him eat fried chicken.
Yeah, not even fazed by it.
What's up with,
Dude, I don't care.
What's up with that? Oh, man.
All right, so a tradition at the end of the Tour de France created a bit of an awkward moment. Check it out. The winner usually kisses the 2 ladies that are on stage with them.
Oh.
The Italian rider successfully landed a kiss from one of the ladies, but the woman to his left, she denied that kiss.
Shoulder.
Yeah.
He played it cool and then kissed the stuffed lion afterwards. There you go. I don't know what happened. Why?
Yeah.
She wasn't into it.
I guess not.
We call that a kiss diss.
Yeah.
Kiss diss.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Bummer.
Yes, you did.
I rode all that way and I got your cold shoulder.
Oh, sad. Well, I like that you're wearing your purple today for the Rockies, even though
I'm
you're
trying.
a Padres fan as well.
Keep trying.
Where's
Keep trying.
the purple, guys?
Yeah, I'm going to bust it out
I know.
tomorrow. They need everything that they can get, let me tell you.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think that we might actually have a couple of showers very similar to last night where we had quite the lightning show. A little bit cooler as far as temperatures go. That first pitch at 6:40 once again, about 74 degrees, and then cooling things off from there. Perhaps a poncho is necessary as we go throughout the... Greg?
Is that to cover your eyes?
Low blow. Come on. They're going to do it. I have the faith.
Yes, they will.
They'll be back after the break, maybe.
Yeah. No, they will.
Yeah.
That's
I
what we
know.
always
Get
see a little
a
upsurge
couple
in the
guys healthy.
There's always
Who knows
tomorrow.
what can
Stay with
happen.
us for 9 News over on Channel 20. We're going to talk to the spokeswoman for CDOT. She's answering questions about that 4th of July traffic.
We'll see you on Channel 20. Take care.
9 News, everywhere. Get the news anytime at 9news.com or on the 9 News app for smartphones.
Here's the thing about doing good things. You help a lot of people. And not just help people, but help people help people. That's why we do what we do, because we are a part of us. Another thing about doing good things, sometimes people recognize that helping people is good. And that gets the word out about the power of helping, the power of community. And the work's not done. Come on, lend a hand. We are part of us. I like that.
Every day, over 68,000 Coloradans receive great deals via email from Deal Chicken and 9 News. We're combing the area, hatching great deals from the best local businesses like Abella Salon and Spa, 15 units of Botox, $89. Vinos de la Cruz Wines, organic wines, $30. Crack Attack Windshield Repair, Chip Repair, $25. Western Bowl, 2 hours of bowling, $20. Health and Harmony Wellness, Stress Reduction Session, $49. Don't miss out. We're hatching deals daily, so sign up today at DealChicken.com. See Blue, think news. Adele Arakawa on 9 News. This is 9 News.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to 9 News 7 a.m. Gary, along with Corey, Greg, and Danielle on this Tuesday, July 8th.
So Danielle, you're saying rock the neon and maybe a side ponytail today because the 80s are back.
They're back. Mullets, guys.
Oh,
no.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Been there, done that, probably.
Maybe a little, but I did have hair, so there is that.
You notice I've gotten strangely quiet. The awkward silence coming from me now says it all.
Too funny, yes. So today should be a really nice one. A lot of relief from the heat, especially from yesterday when we hit it 100 degrees officially. Our first one of 2014 out at DIA. Today we're looking at mostly cloudy skies sitting over the city. There it is. That big blanket is definitely going to help keep our temperatures cooler today. This is basically in the wake of that storm that passed through late last night and continued into the early morning hours today. Right now, most of the action is long gone. Off to our eastern plains we go. Southeastern corner, a couple of light rain showers, but most of it has pressed into Kansas. As far as today goes, cool. That is my word of the day as we're tracking temperatures, daytime highs, a good 20-degree difference than just yesterday. We're in the low 60s right now for Denver, Greeley up to Fort Collins as well, 59 in Lyman, more 60s stretching across the eastern plains with some 40s and 50s up to the mountains to kick off our Tuesday morning. By this afternoon, low 80s daytime highs, and once again, we'll be looking at more scattered thunderstorms pushing back into the metro area. As far as the storms go, not quite as impressive as last night, and that's probably a good thing. We are tracking the return of the 90s, but just how soon? Belinda and I will be letting you know coming up in about 10 minutes. In the meantime, Tanya, it has been a real doozy as far as the drive goes this morning.
Trying to get out of downtown for certain, Danielle. So this is what we're looking at with Sky 9 is the accident that 8 cars I counted over on the right-hand shoulder northbound I-25 there as you're on that approach to 58th Avenue. So luckily they had enough of a shoulder they could get by, but they are protecting the scene there with fire and paramedics. So now you're all kind of bottlenecked as you're coming across the mousetrap and trying to get past this. We'll take one look at the CDOT shot and then we'll show you the map. So you can see there how that just requires everybody to kind of push up, because as you're on that curve, you're not really going to catch them until you're almost right up on that accident scene. So just be aware, if you're headed out right now and going to go through that north part of I-25, just north of Spear, your speeds really start to slow down until you're well past that accident, and you're picking back up into that 50 and 60 range, which is much, much better. I think that's going to be a little bit slower as they continue to get those tow trucks in and out of there. Greg?
7:03 right now in Arvada. Firefighters investigating an early morning house fire. It happened in the 10,000 block of 60th Avenue. They say one person did have to be treated for smoke inhalation, but the fire's out and contained to just the garage area.
Everyone is still talking about the storm last night. Viewers keep sending in their pictures, just amazing pictures. If you're not by your TV, you got to come check some of these out. Matt Ruggles caught this lightning strike on camera in Thornton. We've received hundreds of photos, and you can see them all on 9news.com. We've set up a big slideshow for you so you can check them out. Well, there is a mess to clean up around DU this morning. Last night's storm tore apart this tree on South Gilpin Street. It snapped right at the bottom but missed hitting that house. Just a couple of blocks away on High Street, it was a close call for this car. A huge tree limb fell just a few feet away from it. It covered part of the sidewalk along with several other fallen branches.
It is 7:04 right now. Just across the border in Wyoming, there's a big wildfire burning this morning. The Lake Owen fire is burning about 30 miles west of Laramie. 300 acres have burned at last check. There are evacuations underway for some small communities and campers in the area. Crews are being called in from as far away as Craig to help try and get that fire under control.
It has been about 10 months now since floodwaters cut off communities like Estes Park. Town had a record holiday weekend, though. There was a 40% increase in foot traffic through the Estes Park Visitor Center over the 4th of July. 9 News reporter Colleen Ferreira is live in Boulder County this morning with more on the big improvements they're seeing up there.
Good morning, Greg. And I think the improvements coming from all the traffic flow is increasing people's moods too. Everyone here so happy this morning, just waving and saying hello, greeting us to Lions over here. Lions is doing really well right now. They did see a lot of traffic flow over 4th of July weekend, and they've opened up 3 new businesses since the floods. Button Rock Bakery here is one of them. A little bit of ways is a new restaurant, and in a few weeks they're opening up a new outdoor gear shop. Let's take a closer look at what Lions is looking like right now. Sales have been steady so far this summer, higher than they budgeted for and higher than last year, but they still need people to shop and eat local to keep this momentum going. They did see good traffic flow through 4th of July. Many people were traveling to Rocky Mountain National Park, and they said, hey, they stopped here to have a bite to eat, and they will take it. Meadows Park Phase 1 is complete, so they did see many people there during 4th of July. That means RVing is back over there, tent camping also available. We were there just a little bit ago and saw about half a dozen RVs, so things are improving. Now, Lions, Boulder County, City of Boulder, Estes Park, they really needed to rebuild to the point where they could invite visitors back into their town and host them here once again. And I think each of these communities is slowly coming back, all of them reporting a positive traffic flow for this 4th of July weekend. And that is what we like to hear, especially after all that they went through last September, Gary.
That is for sure. And the roads up there are getting better. They fixed them and they're looking pretty good now. So thanks. A powerful typhoon bringing strong winds and heavy rain to the southern Japanese island of Okinawa today. The storm is paralyzing travel and prompting U.S. forces based there to cancel outdoor activities. Right now, there are 10 injuries reported, and 1 man is missing from a fishing boat in rough seas. The storm is packing sustained winds of about 120 miles an hour and gusts up to 148 miles an hour.
Back at home this morning, still no sign of the Fort Collins Army veteran who disappeared on Saturday. 64-year-old George Gosden has dementia. He wandered away from his home wearing a white shirt and gray pajama pants. The Air Force is now involved in the search. A military helicopter circled the skies above Fort Collins for several hours yesterday. Gosden's wife says the family is beginning to lose hope.
I don't know what I do without him. So he have to come back. He needs to come back.
Gosden was also wearing a medic alert bracelet. Anyone with information is asked to call Fort Collins police.
The man accused of shooting 2 Lakewood police officers on Saturday night could be in a Jefferson County courtroom later today. 54-year-old Gordon Mensch faces first-degree attempted murder charges. Mensch's wife called police Saturday night to say her husband was despondent. The 2 officers that came to the house were shot. Officer Jonathan Key is at home this morning recovering after being released from the hospital yesterday. Officer Kimberly Collins continues to recover at the hospital. A 3rd officer shot Mensch. The suspect in the Benghazi terror attack is going to be in court today. Ahmed Abu Khatallah has been charged with a deadly attack on a U.S. consulate back in 2012. He is suspected to be the ringleader of the attack that killed 4 Americans, including the ambassador to Libya, Chris Stevens. Abu Khatallah has entered a plea of not guilty.
Today, the president will be asking Congress for more than $2 billion in emergency spending, this to deal with the border crisis. Unaccompanied migrant kids from Central America have been arriving in this country by the thousands. The White House request will focus on additional money for immigration judges to build more detention facilities and legal aid to begin deportations. The president also announced he will discuss the crisis at the border tomorrow. Meanwhile, the United Nations is pushing for them to be treated, these refugees anyway, as displaced by armed conflict so they can have some more rights. President Obama comes to Denver tonight. He'll be here to raise some money for Senator Mark Udall's re-election campaign. He's set to deliver a speech about the economy tomorrow morning in Cheeseman Park and then attend a fundraiser. He'll leave Wednesday afternoon. We don't know yet how this will impact traffic in the area, but we'll keep you updated on that as we get closer.
In just a few hours, the first retail marijuana stores will be open for business in Washington state. Lines started forming overnight in front of the few stores that got last-minute approval to sell the marijuana. The store openings are expected to be accompanied by high prices and shortages. More than 2,500 people apply to become licensed growers, but fewer than 100 have received approvals. New York has become the latest state to allow the use of medical marijuana. Governor Andrew Cuomo signed the Compassionate Care Act yesterday in New York City. Under the bill, a doctor can prescribe marijuana to patients with serious conditions. The bill was passed last month.
It is 10 minutes after 7 o'clock right now. The defense rested its case this morning in the Oscar Pistorius trial in South Africa. Now the court will take another recess until at least August 7th. The chief prosecutor plans to file the state's closing arguments with the court on July 30th. Pistorius claims that he killed his girlfriend, model Reva Steenkamp, by mistake. Says that he thought she was an intruder when he fired a gun through a closed bathroom door at his home. The prosecution says he shot her after an argument the two had. People in the Gaza Strip woke up once again to flattened homes after more Israeli airstrikes this morning. At least 50 sites in a Hamas-ruled area were hit by the Israeli army's attack. The tension, of course, stems from the killing of 3 Israeli teenagers, followed by the killing of a Palestinian teenager. Both sides have been firing at each other ever since.
No one was gored today during the second running of the Bulls at the San German Festival. 2 people did have some minor injuries after falling down during the dash to the narrow streets of Pamplona, Spain. Thousands of people ran alongside 6 fighting bulls. 1 person was gored during the opening run of the festival yesterday.
Well, it's 7-Eleven right now. I've never quite understood that, but it's on some people's buckets list. A mobile wallet service is dealing with a big branding problem these days. How the crisis in Iraq is leading to a name change for one company. More of that coming up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Julie, and as the owner and founder of the Sound Relief Hearing Center, I'm here to offer you sound advice about any hearing problem that's affecting your quality of life. Give us a call now to schedule your free consultation or visit our website at youreardoc.com.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
We've seen caring everywhere. Addie is a little girl who can light up a room. Addie really wanted to make a difference for all the servicemen and women. She would pack up these special boxes full of the things that they might need overseas and write these very personal letters. And because she took the time to learn about sacrifice, she taught us all such a great lesson as well. Addie's a little girl with an enormous heart and enough determination and confidence to know that she can make a difference in this world. She's a knock your socks off little girl.
Hi, I'm Greg Moss. During an emergency such as a chemical spill or a wildfire, officials often place emergency notification calls to the residents of the affected areas with warnings and instructions. In many counties, you can now receive these life-saving phone calls on your cell phone. It's easy and it's free. Just log on to www.911colorado.org. Click on Sign Up for Emergency Notification Service and then click on your county. Do it today and register all of your family's cell phones.
Colorado's bright summer sun is perfect for spending time outdoors, so make sure you and your family get plenty of water. Kids can get dehydrated quickly, so make sure they're drinking lots of water when out in the summer heat. And for grown-ups, being dehydrated can actually sap your energy. It's the most common cause of daytime fatigue. Try adding citrus fruits and strawberries to your water to add natural, healthy flavors and eat foods high in water content, like watermelon. For more hot ideas for a wet summer, go to 9healthfair.org or check us out on Facebook and Twitter.
Colorado stories. You find them down every busy highway and lonely dirt road. My job? To reveal the character of our state, one character at a time. From the eastern plains to the western slope, Colorado's story is everywhere.
9 News, everywhere.
7:14, time for a look at money news. Does raising the minimum wage kill jobs or help create them? Most of us have an opinion these days. Well, a study released today reveals states that raised it had stronger job growth. It shows that in April and May, 13 states that hiked the minimum wage at the beginning of the year had more employment growth than the 37 states that did not change. As is usually the case, you don't have to look far to find a study, though, that claims the opposite here. Now, on January 1, Colorado was one of 13 states that did boost the minimum wage based on inflation. It's now about $8 an hour. College degrees in math or science will likely get you top dollar when you graduate. This, according according to a new study from the Department of Education. That survey looked at the class of 08, 4 years after they earned their bachelor's. It was during one of our worst recessions, you might remember. Only 16% of those students took home degrees in math, science, engineering, or technology, but they averaged about $65,000 a year. Those with other degrees earned just under $50,000. The employment numbers getting stronger, but Walmart's CEO says it's not enough to lure their customers back into the stores to spend more. Bill Simon telling Reuters its low and middle income customer base is pulling back on spending overall. Now, they did see some increases over the 4th of July weekend and some early back to school shopping deals that are out there. There's a little branding problem for the mobile wallet service founded by AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. You see, it's called ISIS. And that's the same name or acronym used by a terrorist group. ISIS CEO Michael Abbott says the company will change its name soon to avoid association with the Islamic states of Iraq and Syria. No word yet on what that new name might be.
But they were ISIS first.
Probably a good call.
Take it to court, Garrett. Less of us have landlines as we rely on our cell phones. A new survey says 4 out of 10 homes do not have landlines at all now. That's twice as many as only 5 years ago. Experts say the reason some people have not given up the traditional phone is likely because they're part of an internet and cable television bundle package, so they just kind of keep it anyway. Pancakes for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Today, it's the deal for you. A short stack, only 56 cents at IHOP. It's the restaurant's way of celebrating its 56th anniversary of being in business for a long time. The promotion goes on all day, 7 a.m., so it's been in place now 15 minutes. Goes till 7 tonight. Keep in mind, it's just one short stack per person today. No gorging. No matter how delicious, you can't resist the urge to come back in disguise.
So no to-go boxes or anything.
No
you can't
to-go
take a whole bunch.
boxes.
Is that in the rules? No gorging?
No
gorging allowed.
No gorging allowed.
He said breakfast is on him today.
Oh,
it is, yeah.
He's a big spender.
to $1.50?
Yeah.
But don't forget to tip on the regular amount.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You got the
Very
tip.
good.
You got the tip.
Yeah, thank you.
Geez. All right, let's get another check of the morning drive with Tanya Hotman. Tanya wants in on this free breakfast.
Yeah, I do. Although I think I might spring for the extra and just order for 2 and then I can eat them all myself. We're going to take a look at Sky 9 here now. I-25 northbound. So here's the situation. It is improving now because we have a tow truck in. So we had 8 cars in there on that accident in the northbound stretch. And so it looks like maybe 4 or 5 of them are still left, but we still have also that left, right-hand lane blocked as they're continuing in the right-hand shoulder. So let's take a look here from our map, and we're going to see now exactly what we're dealing with as far as where the stretch starts to get slow and those speeds. So we're seeing it just as you're crossing 6th Avenue, and then you're slowing way down into the 20s from your 40 and 50s on those speeds. Then 16 miles an hour crossing that mousetrap. Once you get up right past that accident, it's going to pick up quickly for you. But that's a pretty long stretch. You can see easily about a 10-minute delay of what you would normally spend trying to get to the north end. So please be aware as you're headed out that door. And then also if you're headed out through Aurora, 225 has also been pretty slow this morning, even though we do have some cloud cover for our sunny skies. Southbound looking at 17 minutes and just a little bit under that for that northbound stretch. Belinda, also we're talking about these clouds, the rain, and the sneeziness.
Yeah, let's look at the positive side of these clouds, these cooler temperatures, that chance for rain, because that pollen index has actually shown improvement with trees and grasses, and it's now moderate instead of high. Weeds were not registering anything on that index. Now, the past 24 hours, that rain started yesterday afternoon around the metro area, and then those storms started to move out towards the eastern plains. The highest amount of rainfall so far has been registered along that I-70 corridor from the metro area all the way into the eastern plains. At DIA, we got about 1/10 of an inch from yesterday afternoon. Higher amounts around Strasburg and even out towards Burlington, close to about 3 inches. We're tracking more on and off showers for today. Those temperatures are expected to be only in the 80s this afternoon. But you know what? Those 80s won't last for long. Danielle and I have a much hotter forecast in store for you in the next couple of days. We'll be right back with that forecast.
The Wild Animal Sanctuary. Over 300 large carnivores on the 720-acre refuge. See them up close and in their natural habitats from our new Mile Into the Wild elevated walkway. Find us 30 miles northeast of Denver and at wildanimalsanctuary.org.
On a breaking news story, there are things you expect to see, crime scene tape and flashing lights. But the real story, turn around. It's the people, lives turned upside down. You'll see what happens. I'll show you what happens next. 9 News, everywhere.
See yellow, think weather. Becky Ditchfield on 9 News.
Here's the thing about doing good things. You help a lot of people. And not just help people, but help people help people. That's why we do what we do, because we are a part of us. Another thing about doing good things, sometimes people recognize that helping people is good. And that gets the word out about the power of helping, the power of community. And the work's not done. Come on, lend a hand. We are a part of us. I like that.
Algebra 2! Foreign languages! And finally, biology! Who among you will step up to their challenge?
Me.
Yeah, I'll do it. Me too. Sign me up.
Take on the tough classes now. You need them to prepare for college.
So, you're looking for help with your mortgage. Worried about foreclosure? Messy stuff. We're a mortgage rescue company. We can help you keep your house. All we ask for in return is that you submit to our plans for galactic domination. We're not so different, you and I. Sign.
Yeah, this is not what we...
Have you met my henchman, Radu?
Nice to meet you.
Radu.
We'll see you later.
If you're facing foreclosure, make sure you're talking to the right people. Speak with HUD-approved housing counselors free of charge at 888-995-HOPE.
I like that song. There's a guitar solo. All right, yeah. Great way to start the day. You know, all in all, that chance for rain is really good news across our great state because there's some areas that are still experiencing drought situations. And for today, it's not going to be a completely rainy day, on and off showers. So I'd say, you know, you're still okay to maybe go outside and take that jog. The temperatures currently are around 62 degrees at DI, but take a look at that humidity already at an 80%. Overnight storms have already pushed out towards the east, and right now we are watching just a small amount of rain in the southeastern corner of the state. This is good news. This is very good news. This is the area that's under that extreme drought. We're looking really good around the metro area right now. Cloudy skies, yes, in some areas of patchy fog, especially right along the foothills, but nothing really to get in your way of getting into work this morning, unless, well, you're not feeling like going to work. That's a totally different story. Here is a look at your futurecast. On and off showers. The greatest amount of rain will come in the high country there, where we could see some of the stronger storms by this afternoon. Here's 3:30, mix of clouds and sun, not completely cloudy. Northern Colorado, a little bit of sunshine around that time. Southeastern corner looking at some blue skies as well. And then after 3 o'clock, the chance for rain will remain in the forecast, especially down south around Monument Hill, the Palmer Divide, looking at some stronger storms down south. And in the overnight hours, skies start to clear. And then tomorrow morning, we're waking up to partly cloudy skies, looking really good in the rain department on average around this time of year. Usually about 7.9 inches of rain. And so far, since the beginning of the year, we've had about 8.5 inches. We're going to tag more onto that in the next 24 hours. Could see about 1/10 of an inch around the metro area. Higher amounts, as I mentioned, in the mountains, especially around the Wet Mountains, Sangre de Cristos, and the San Juans. Now, the temperatures for today, about a 20-degree difference from yesterday. 83 will be the high in the metro area, 82 in Fort Collins, more 80s all the way into Kansas, and in the high country, 70s for Frisco, Aspen, 81, and Grand Junction. You're not going to escape the heat. Today, the high, 99 for you. Now, Danielle is tracking the other side of your forecast. Danielle, the good news is that some of these strong thunderstorms aren't looking as strong as yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely for the metro area across Colorado, we should be good to go. The typical thunderstorms that march right on through. What I am tracking is a better bet for seeing those stronger thunderstorms, possibility for some really damaging winds out there and large hail all the way across towards southern Missouri, northern Arkansas, and that shifts into upstate New York. A good chunk of the country definitely going to be looking at the potential for seeing severe thunderstorms later this afternoon. And you can see there it is, that big front, all the clouds, all the moisture associated with it as it continues to swoop further off to the east. We go throughout the afternoon, and that's when that line really picks up, tracking throughout parts of Tennessee. This is at 8:30 tonight, and that carries all the way up toward New England. Tomorrow morning we wake up, some clouds out there, and we get ready to do it all over again as that system completely winds further off to the east. While they're dealing with that, the West Coast dealing with high fire danger. We're tracking red flag warnings across parts of Oregon into northern California as well. Fire weather watches just kind of nudging into the Boise area. High temperatures definitely going to be sizzling out there in Phoenix at 107, 78 in Los Angeles with 70s and 80s across the northern tier. Tonight we'll cool things off to 59 degrees. See some clearing going on, and then tomorrow the heat returns back to the 90s and storms continue each and every afternoon through the weekend.
Kathy Sabin, winner of the Colorado Broadcasters Award for Best Weathercaster and Station of the Year for the 15th year in a row. 9 News, everywhere.
A visual feast of color, movement, and pageantry, all free for your whole family. The Colorado Black Arts Festival, July 11th through the 13th in historic Denver City Park West. To learn more, go to callbath.org. See you at the Colorado Black Arts Festival.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
I've got my library card. Do you?
I've got mine.
A library card is your ticket to a world of information and resources. From books to movies and music to computer resources, free Wi-Fi and ebooks to trained staff waiting to help you.
I've got mine.
I've got mine.
Governor, I've got mine. Do you have yours? I've got mine. Do you have yours?
I've got mine.
Some of the smartest people in Colorado have library cards.
I've got my library card. Do you have yours?
Whatever your interest, whatever your dream, the library can help you get there. If you don't have a library card, visit your local library and get one today.
Be smart. Be smart.
Be smart. Get a library card.
Be smart. Get a library card.
From Maine to Maui, thousands of high school students across the country are getting in on the action by volunteering in their communities.
It's great helping others, and it feels good too. Are you in? Whoa!
Anyone can do it. All it takes is a little time. Are you in?
Action teams of high school students are joining Volunteers of America and Major League Baseball players to help train and inspire the next generation of volunteers.
It's easy to start an action team at your school, so you too can get in on the action.
Are you in? Get in on the action at actionteam.org.
Because my parents told me I have to be responsible.
Because my first coach told me, you can do this.
Because my boss showed me how to do a good job.
Because my teacher helped me see the choices.
I'm swimming faster than I ever dreamed.
I am a valuable employee.
I discovered that I could work as an artist.
I will be whatever I want to be.
Youth with disabilities should grow up expecting to work and succeed. For more information, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
I'm Orion Samuelson.
And I'm Max Armstrong.
From the eastern plains to the western slope, we know how important agriculture is to Colorado.
And we're excited to tell those stories each weekend on This Week in Agribusiness.
Join us Sunday morning at 5 on Channel 20.
This is 9 News.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to 9 News 730. I'm Gary, along with Corey on this Tuesday.
So it's going to be cooler with temperatures in the 80s today, with more showers possible this morning. Meteorologist Belinda Leon is joining us from the Weather Center. Let's talk about those storms.
Oh yeah, you know, big difference from what we saw yesterday. Those overnight storms have already pushed off towards the eastern plains, and we're still seeing a little bit of rain. But folks, today is going to look and feel very different. We reached 100 degrees yesterday. I don't know about you, but by the afternoon, I had my kids in the indoor playground. Today, about a 20-degree difference, and we'll have on and off showers throughout the day. The storms aren't looking as strong as what we had yesterday. Thankfully, we're not under that risk of seeing any severe weather, and your temperatures were already in the 60s along I-25, so this is really mild. This is really pleasant for some of you who maybe want to do that jog. You're totally okay to do that. Right along the foothills, those temperatures are in the 50s, and here's a look at that Doppler 9 where we have the rain in the southeastern corner of the state. Very good news, as this is the area that's experiencing extreme drought conditions. We're not going to be completely under clouds today. We'll have a little break in the clouds and see a little bit of sunshine at times. The temperatures rising into the 70s already by lunchtime, then after that in the upper 70s by 2:30, with that chance for some storms back in the forecast. We'll track it all for you. Danielle and I coming up in the full weather. Right now, Miss Tanya, looks like we have some problems on those roads.
Yeah, so we're still waiting very patiently for this accident to clear northbound I-25 as you're on that approach to 58th Avenue. So we had 8 cars in there, now all to the shoulder, and we have several tow trucks that came in the last 15 minutes. This is really going to help ease things as you bottlenecked as you were just passing the mousetrap and getting up past that. But if we push into the map, you can really see how it starts to get so slow now about Alameda all the way up through here. You're going to be sitting on that stretch of northbound I-25 for a while. Not an easy alternate for you. If you want, you can take Colorado Boulevard up and over if you were going to usually take that downtown track. But then once you're up to the north end, this looks actually pretty good. On the northbound stretch, 10 minutes from the Boulder Turnpike up to the toll road, 16 minutes on that southbound side. That's the usual stuff that we see as that volume continues to build right around Thornton Parkway and then on down. Corey?
All right, Tanya, so if you live in Arvada, you might see canines training to find explosives today. It's part of a test developed by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. It's at Arvada West High School. For a canine team to become certified, the animal must identify 10 explosive compounds, achieving a 100% detection rate.
Donald Sterling is going to appear in court today. The LA Clippers owner has been called to the stand to testify in the case against his estranged wife's $2 billion deal to sell the team. Sterling skipped yesterday's opening of the case in an LA courtroom. The first testimony came from a neurologist who said the 80-year-old has Alzheimer's. He was caught on camera sleeping at the game. This guy was, a Yankees game against Boston. Now he's suing 2 ESPN broadcasters for defamation. Andrew Rector says he wants $10 million for mental anguish. He admits he fell asleep during the April 13th game, but says the announcers used, quote, an avalanche of disparaging words such as fatty and stupid when describing him. ESPN, Major League Baseball, and the Yankees are named in the defendant's lawsuit. We couldn't find anywhere where the announcers actually said that, though.
We couldn't. We'll see what happens. Yeah. 4 people were hurt yesterday after a roller coaster at a California Six Flags hit a tree branch. It happened on the Ninja Coaster at the Magic Mountain Park in Santa Clarita. The front car was dislodged. About 24 visitors were stuck dangling 30 feet in the air for nearly 3 hours. Colorado National Monument is not going to be designated as a national park yet. Colorado Representative Scott Tipton and Colorado Senator Mark Udall say there's more dialogue that's needed before the monument should become the state's 5th national park. The announcement comes more than a year after Tipton and Udall started taking public comment about the designation.
All right, check out these cool photos of the Lightning last night at Coors Field during the game. Wow, it delayed the game. These were sent to us by viewers, Shannon Smith, Mike Minter, and Drew Litton. The game was delayed a little bit due to the rain. Then the Rockies ended up losing to the Padres 6-1. But man, no shots, huh? The teams face off again today at Coors Field. We'll see if they see more lightning.
Oh, we hope they see a win, too. Today, our former traffic reporter, Amelia Earhart, will be heading into the final parts of her trip around the world. She'll be leaving Papua New Guinea, heading for a small island in the Gilbert Island chain, the Pacific Ocean. Yesterday, she wrote on Facebook that she and co-pilot Shane Gordon visited the Amelia Earhart Memorial to pay their respects to the woman who inspired the trip. She'll be finishing her trip around the world on Saturday when she lands back at Rocky Mountain Metropolitan Airport. Today, Amelia and Shane will fly over Howland Island, the spot the original Amelia Earhart was supposed to land when she left Papua New Guinea. That's where she made her last radio call back in 1937. Her plane was never found. Amelia and Shane will be live tweeting from the cockpit during today's flight. You can join in on the conversation by following the hashtag #FlyWithAmelia. You can also track her flight by going to the AmeliaEarhartProject.com website.
All right, it was a busy holiday travel weekend, and CDOT says by 11 a.m. on Sunday, 11,000 vehicles traveled through the Eisenhower Tunnel. If you are one of them, you may have seen some red. Overall, CDOT, though, they says most drivers only experienced about a 1-hour delay. And Amy Ford from CDOT joining us now. Of course, when we say 1-hour delay, we know that's on top of what you're already sitting on. So how many vehicles actually took that I-70 corridor that gets so busy?
Over the course of the weekend, we had almost 210,000 vehicles go through that corridor. And it was really an interesting weekend. We saw people travel through fairly early Thursday night, Friday night.
We always see them stacked up along there on Floyd Hill.
We always see them stacked up, but I'll tell you, by what we saw by early day Sunday, we had a big push coming back Sunday, but by midday, there was almost free-flowing, even with that slow hour
That's great
delay.
news. You said it was a little bit less than last year.
Just a hair less, just a couple thousand vehicles less, but we really did see people taking a different approach in how they travel the corridor.
So let's talk about that. The campaign, the peak time summer campaign, how do you think that worked?
You know, we've been obviously working with the public a lot and talking to them about change your peak time. And I think people instinctively already did this. Oh, I have my secret time. I travel and I miss the traffic. But by us calling it out more, by partnering actually with the I-70 Coalition, the resorts and others to do coupons and breaks for people who just stay a little bit later, leave a little bit earlier, we're really starting to see that shift and spreading the peak.
It's so easy, I think, especially for people who have families. We're talking about our children, you know, to stay early, get your breakfast early, and then get out early or stay for dinner. I mean, it's just a pretty simple option when you're not
It really is, and I'll tell you, our partners, the resorts and others, anecdotally, they're telling us that they're noticing people doing that more and more in the winter and now in the summer. We're thrilled about it. It's obviously helping impact traffic, but there's still some things to come yet in the corridor.
Absolutely. So what do you think sort of worked and what didn't work when we talk about people getting on that I-70 stretch?
You know, the things that work, obviously, for us are really thinking thoughtfully about when those peak travel times are and planning your trip, number one. And we definitely saw that between Thursday to Friday to people leaving Saturday night, coming back early Sunday morning. So we really did see that. We also see that people are really looking at where they're going and working on how we merge and manage traffic. So we're doing things like metering traffic, how traffic comes onto the highway, and that makes a difference, and just flowing the traffic a little more smoothly.
When you hear about the metering, you're like, oh no, but it really does help.
You know, it really does help flow, and it's really about keeping flow moving on that main line and stopping the stop and go.
Well, let's talk real quickly about what else is happening this summer besides the twin tunnels, which we know are going to ramp up. You said the shoulder lane project.
Yes, so I mean, a major improvement to the I-70 corridor is about to happen, and what we are going to be doing is paving out the shoulder between Idaho Springs and Empire Junction. So as you're going eastbound on I-70 from Empire down to Idaho Springs, we are going to turn on the shoulder lane here next year, next fall, and that will be about a 30-minute savings for people who are able to travel in that lane, and it will be a tolled lane.
And that's going to be so significant.
It
for
really
everybody.
is one of the first major congestion improvements in that corridor. The eastbound twin tunnel certainly started to help. This is going to be a significant improvement.
Oh, we're so looking forward to that. And thank you so much for coming in and just breaking it down for us, because we have another holiday coming up.
We do indeed, and we appreciate people's patience. We're working also to make these better improvements for I-70.
Good. So everybody can get up there and enjoy what Colorado has to offer.
Exactly what it's about.
We love it. Thank you so much. And we'll go back to you, Corey.
It's good stuff to know. All right, Tanya, thank you. So it's already home to one of the world's largest malls. Well, now Dubai wants to build an even larger one, and it would have some really cool features.
The biggest smile on television returns. Steve Harvey is back with an all-new season, and it's definitely something to smile about. Put a smile back in your day with America's #1 new daytime show. Steve Harvey returns with an all-new season September 16th.
Weekdays at 9 on Channel 20.
I present to you technology. Who among you will step up to their challenge?
Me. Yeah, I'll do it. Me too.
Sign me up.
Take on the tough classes now. You need them to prepare for college.
So, you're looking for help with your mortgage. Worried about foreclosure? Messy stuff. We're a mortgage rescue company. We can help you keep your house. All we ask for in return is that you submit to our plans for galactic domination. We're not so different, you and I. Sign.
Yeah, this is not what we...
Have you met my henchman, Radu?
Nice to meet you.
Radu.
We're just we'll see you later.
If you're facing foreclosure, make sure you're talking to the right people. Speak with HUD-approved housing counselors free of charge at 888-995-HOPE.
It's a day of games on Ellen with Oscar winner Emma Thompson.
Wait.
This game makes a splash. And Ellen's playing matchmaker with Lenny Kravitz and Carmen Electra.
The fact that Carmen is here and you're here on the same...
And
he plays guitar. I think my work is done.
Next, Ellen.
Ellen today at 3 on Channel 9.
Another week and more General Motors recalls. The company is reportedly resisting the recall of nearly 1.8 million older pickups and SUVs over a brake line issue. They include Chevy Tahoes, Suburbans, and Cadillac Escalades. According to the New York Times, safety regulators say they have received around 1,000 complaints. They have been investigating the issue for a few years now. GM says rusty brake lines are part of routine maintenance issues.
7:41 right now. If you're in the market for a new car and just can't decide whether to buy or lease, there's some advice from Credit.com. They say, number one, look beyond the monthly payment. While a lease will cost less per month for sure, mileage fees could wipe out any money that you save. Secondly, how do I use the car? If you like an upgrade every couple of years, a lease may be the best choice. Finally, read the fine print. Know the mileage restrictions and the penalties for returning the vehicle early if you lease it.
Back on the ground, have you ever been shocked by cab fare? The car-hailing app Uber is waging war on yellow cabs in New York City. Uber is slashing prices by 20%, making it tougher for taxi drivers to compete. The price cut is an experiment, but if demand skyrockets, Uber management says the lower rate will stick. The company has done this before. It slashed prices 25% in San Francisco and Atlanta this summer.
And are doing very well in those cities. Gun sales have fallen sharply in the last year. That's because many Americans are not stockpiling assault rifles like they did in the past. Gun enthusiasts don't seem like they are too concerned about a new federal run restriction going into effect as they were last year. In 2013, President Obama attempted to pass a gun bill that would restrict military-style semi-automatic rifles. It did fail. The biggest driver for sales increases is fear of restrictive legislation. Despite the drop in rifle sales, the sale of handguns is still going up, though. An audio reading device for the visually impaired that can be used with the swipe of a finger. It's something that MIT scientists are working on right now. The finger reader is a prototype made by a 3D printer. It fits like a ring and is equipped with a small camera that scans text. A synthesized voice reads the words out loud and translates reading material. It's taken 3 years for the product to come as far as it has, and there's more work to be done before it hits the market, but it sounds pretty cool.
It sounds very promising as well. So let's take a mental break from the heat to remind us of how things will change when summer ends. A look ahead to ski season at Breckenridge. The towers for the new Colorado Super Chair flew in on helicopters right on the heels of launching Pete 6 last season, the ski industry's most significant terrain expansion in the last 10 years. The old quads will be replaced with 6 passenger cars. All 20 of the new towers were installed in about 6 hours. It's very fast work there. The home of one of the world's biggest shopping malls wants to build an even bigger one.
Yeah, Dhabi is planning to build the world's tallest mall. For comparison, Minnesota's Mall of America, the largest in the United States, is 4.87 million square feet. The Dubai, I said Dhabi, but it's Dubai complex will be built near the Mall of the Emirates, which has an indoor ski slope.
Wow.
Those malls there, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It is something crazy,
Yeah.
isn't it? All right, let's take a look at traffic. Here is Tanya Hotman.
All right, good morning, guys. So we're taking a look here at the Eisenhower Tunnel. Nice and quiet up there for you. If you're headed into the High Country West of C-470, really, you're going to have a great time. But we are still tracking all of these delays on that northbound I-25 corridor. This was all because of this multi-car accident right around 58th Avenue. But we are looking slow now from about University on up past Spear and past the Mousetrap. It's finally easing up where that accident was sitting. But as you can see, these speeds are so slow and they're still 20s and 16 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour. You're going to pick back up into those 50s and 60s as you cross the Boulder Turnpike. Across this eastbound I-70 stretch, you're doing very well thanks to some cloudy skies for you this morning. Westbound looking busy, though, from that 270 and Colorado Boulevard interchanges on over towards that Mousetrap. Then getting west of that, it looks pretty nice for us. But we've been pretty fortunate. The one big accident this morning, we've been kind of isolated to just that. Danielle, we are loving the fact that we're not seeing these 100-degree almost temperatures.
No kidding. Tanya Boleyn, how many days until football season? Tanya,
a lot.
60? 58, you guys.
Oh, okay.
I said 60.
You're pretty close. You know what? We're getting really excited for this season. The Back to Football 7K. August 31st, you start at Sports Authority Field, goes to Sloan's Lake, and then back to the stadium, and you get to hit that 50-yard line, go through the tunnel like all the players. Miles will be out here as well as all the cheerleaders. You can sign up broncos7k.com. If you do it today, you get $5 off if you use that promo code 9News. We just tweeted this out. It should be a lot of fun, you guys. Training starts today.
Ooh, nice.
'Tis the season.
Yes.
That would be fun. It'd be fun to run on the field.
Yeah, you
know?
go through the same tunnel as the players and Miles as they do every game, home game. It's pretty cool.
Be fun. All right, it is a Tour de France tradition, but it created an awkward moment at the end of one of the races.
The Wild Animal Sanctuary. Over 300 large carnivores on a 720-acre refuge. See them up close and in their natural habitats from our new Mile into the Wild elevated walkway. Find us 30 miles northeast of Denver and at wildanimalsanctuary.org.
Colorado stories. You find them down every busy highway and lonely dirt road. My job? To reveal the character of our state, one character at a time. From the eastern plains to the western slope, Colorado's story is everywhere.
9 News, everywhere. See blue, think news. Kyle Clark on 9 News. Every day, over 68,000 Coloradans receive great deals via email from Deal Chicken and 9 News. We're combing the area, hatching great deals from the best local businesses like Abella Salon and Spa, 15 units of Botox, $89. Vinos de la Cruz Wines, organic wines, $30. Crack Attack Windshield Repair, Chip Repair, $25. Western Bowl, 2 hours of bowling, $20. Health and Harmony Wellness, Stress Reduction Session, $49. Don't miss out. We're hatching deals daily, so sign up today at DealChicken.com.
I've got my library card. Do you?
I've got mine. A library card is your ticket to a world of information and resources. From books to movies and music to computer resources, free Wi-Fi and ebooks to trained staff waiting to help you.
I've got mine.
I've got mine.
Governor, I've got mine. Do you have yours?
I've got mine. Do you have yours? I've got mine.
Some of the smartest people in Colorado have library cards.
I've got my library card. Do you have yours?
Whatever your interest, whatever your dream, the library can help you get there. If you don't have a library card, visit your local library and get one today.
Be smart. Be smart.
Be smart. Get a library card.
Be smart. Get a library card.
Mornings are an exciting time. So much going on, so much to cover.
Big business shaping our skyline, mom and pop shops anchoring our neighborhoods.
We cover the stories that affect your family and your life.
Helping you make decisions from your grocery bill to your retirement. Covering so much needs a big team, and we have one.
And we love doing it every day.
working together to prepare you for your day every day.
No matter what time you get started.
9 News everywhere.
It's a gray morning across the Front Range, the kind of morning that just, makes you want to go back into bed and maybe stay in your jammies. It's going to be a great one, folks. If you want to get outside, you could totally do that. We'll have on and off showers throughout the day. The good news in this forecast is that those stronger storms that we had yesterday afternoon and evening, it looks like we won't have those today. And Danielle will bring that in just a minute. First, let's take a look at what's going on in the high country, because not everybody's going to see these cooler temperatures and cloud coverage out towards the western slope. We've got blue skies. Radar and satellite is showing us where the clouds are and where the rain is. And notice how in the high country, it's mostly clear. We're seeing lots of sunshine. Most of the clouds right now bunched up along I-25, and that rain is in the southeastern corner of the state. There's another look around the downtown area of those clouds that are just covering the city right now. We're at 62 degrees at DIA. Relative humidity 80%. So maybe in the next 24 hours, it's not looking like a good hair day, ladies. And I know that's the least of our worries. The humidity is going to stay high as we go throughout this Tuesday, while out towards the western slope, humidity less than 15%. So that's going to continue to remain high, and into this afternoon we'll have another surge of moisture popping up into our forecast. So here's a look at the futurecast. Notice how in the western slope in the high country, mostly dry until this afternoon around 3:30. We'll have storms sparking up just to the south through the evening along I-25, and in the overnight hours, skies start to clear. How much rain are we going to see? Well, here in the metro area in the next 24 hours, possibly up to about 1/4 of an inch in the next 24 hours. Higher amounts in the wet mountains and even in the Sangre de Crisis. Temperatures about 20 degrees cooler than yesterday, with 80s along I-25. Still toasty out towards Grand Junction. It's going to be a cooler one for us today, and thankfully, Danielle, that threat for severe weather is out of the Colorado border.
Definitely. Tracking off to the east, you can see parts of Missouri and Arkansas, and then swooping all the way to upstate New York. Parts of New England going to be looking at the potential for some isolated tornadoes out there, damaging winds as well as large hail. So that really is going to be the focus for a lot of forecasters across the country today. You can see there's that front. So much cloud cover out there, so much moisture. That's what we have to work with. And that band is slowly going to march off to the east. You can see rainfall amounts looking pretty decent as we go throughout tomorrow. So a good 24-hour chunk. Areas that have that bluish shade out toward Cleveland and then tracking into Canada, anywhere between 2 to 3 inches. By and large, a lot of these folks looking at about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain with these storm systems. Of course, some of those stronger thunderstorms really will be packing on those big heavy downpours where you could see up to a 1/2 to 1 inch an hour within those storms. Meantime, the cooler temperatures settling in across the northern tier of the country. 86 in Santa Fe today, 90s down to Tulsa as well as Dallas. Same across the eastern seaboard, low 90s, 107 in Phoenix. Cool, comfortable across the California coastline. Tonight will be down to 59 degrees. Those showers winding down after midnight, and then we see a little bit of clearing going on. Enjoy today. Enjoy the 80s and the 90s. They return so soon. Tomorrow will be at 93, and pretty much each and every afternoon we'll be looking at a good shot for seeing a couple of afternoon rain showers, tapping into some of that monsoonal moisture that pushes in. And so far, you guys, it looks like this weekend might be a little bit of a soaker Saturday night into Sunday.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind. Thanks. It's official. The Rockies waking up this morning with the worst record in the National League. Colorado couldn't get their bats going against the San Diego Padres last night at Coors Field. The game was delayed for a while because of the rain. San Diego broke it open in the 7th with a 2-run double. The Rockies ended up losing 6-1. Troy Tulowitzki honored his idol last night. Tulo was wearing a wristband on his left arm with the Jeter logo on it. Troy grew up idolizing New York Yankees shortstop Derek Jeter, who is retiring this year. Says he's very excited to share the field with him at the All-Star Game.
It's special. Imagine your idol getting a chance to start on the opposite side of him for his last All-Star game. This would be a special moment for myself when I take the field. Something I'll always remember. Ever since I've been in this game, he's been in it, and I've been watching. As a little kid, watching this guy start All-Star games. So to be there, it's going to be something that I'll always remember.
Yeah, it's going to be very cool for him. Go Tulo. Tour de France cyclists want fans to stop with the selfies already. Riders are asking fans to please stop leaning into courses to snap a selfie. Cyclists are traveling at high rates of speed, and both cyclists and fans are putting themselves in danger for the sake of an Instagram picture. They say the worst thing is that people have their backs to the peloton taking these selfies and they don't see them coming. British cyclist Geraint Thomas said fans should instead stand on a wall or something far away from the cyclists.
Now that makes some sense. Yeah, I'll bet that is dangerous. A tradition at the end of the Tour de France, after every race created a bit of an awkward moment.
So the winner usually kisses the two ladies on stage with him. The Italian rider successfully landed a kiss from one of the ladies, but the woman to his left denied the kiss. Oh, there it is, dissed. We call it a kiss diss. He played it cool and then ended up kissing the stuffed lion that he was handed just a short time later.
It's just weird. I don't understand why that
poor
worked.
Guy.
Okay, we're going to take a short break. Lots more coming up on 9 News, 8 a.m. Hope you can stay with us.
Get the weather where you live. Real-time interactive maps give the weather a street address. The all-new 9news.com.
You wake up, grab your phone or tablet and flick on the TV because you want to know
what's going on in your world this morning.
Let Colorado's most experienced morning team bring you up to speed, mixed in with a little bit of fun.
9 News, everywhere.
Scores? We have them at 9 News, but you can get those anywhere. Highlights? Got those too. But you can see those anywhere. True or false, strange but true, social media, Drew's Clues. You have to be everywhere to get those.
9 News, everywhere. Every day, over 68,000 Coloradans receive great deals via email from Deal Chicken and 9 News. We're combing the area, hatching great deals from the best local businesses like Abella Salon and Spa, 15 units of Botox, $89. Vinos de la Cruz Wines, organic wines, $30. Crack Attack Windshield Repair, Chip Repair, $25. Western Bowl, 2 hours of bowling, $20. Health and Harmony Wellness, Stress Reduction Session, $49. Don't miss out. We're hatching deals daily, so sign up today at DealChicken.com.
From Maine to Maui, thousands of high school students across the country are getting in on the action by volunteering in their communities.
It's great helping others, and it feels good too. Are you in? Whoa!
Anyone can do it. All it takes is a little time. Are you in?
Action teams of high school students are joining Volunteers of America and Major League Baseball players to help train and inspire the next generation of volunteers.
It's easy to start an action team at your school, so you too can get in on the action.
Are you in? Get in on the action at actionteam.org.
And finally, biology. Who among you will step up to their challenge?
Me.
Yeah, I'll do it. Me too. Sign me up.
Take on the tough classes now. You need them to prepare for college.
A visual feast of color, movement, and pageantry, all free for your whole family. The Colorado Black Arts Festival, July 11th through the 13th in historic Denver City Park West. To learn more, go to callback.org. See you at the Colorado Black Arts Festival.
See blue, think news. Corey Rose on 9 News. If you've been wronged, 9 wants to know. If you've seen wrong, blow the whistle. Send your news tips and story ideas to blowthewhistle@9news.com. This is 9 News.
Good morning and welcome to 9 News 8 a.m. I'm Corey Rose along with Gary Shapiro and Danielle Grant on this Tuesday, July 8th.
Boy, it was loud last night.
Noisy storms that rock and rolled right through town. We had so much lightning, tens of thousands of lightning strikes over the past 12 hours or so. Good news is today, while we do have a chance for seeing some more scattered showers, I don't think those storms will be nearly as potent as what we saw last night. Can you also believe yesterday we made it up to triple digits too? Simply amazing. We got to deal with it all, and that's why we love Colorado, right? Here's our live camera right over downtown Denver, our view from 9 News. You can have that nice blanket. It is hugging tight to the downtown core, and that's going to be the name of the game as we go throughout our Tuesday. A couple of pockets of sunshine here and there, but overall kind of a really quiet and calm in the wake of our storm system. Like I mentioned, 100 degrees. Can you believe it? Officially tacked on that out of DIA. The last 100-degree day was last year on July the 11th. So today, the big trend going to be just how cool it is, especially when you compare it to yesterday's heat. Daytime highs going to be in the 80s. Right now, we're kicking off our morning in the 60s. Same for the Eastern Plains. We're at 70 degrees in Sterling, some 50s in Leadville, as well as Salida. The difference within the past 24 hours as far as our temperatures go, 11 degrees cooler this morning in Denver, 17 degrees cooler in the Springs, so you're going to definitely feel it outside. For now, just a couple of isolated showers down toward the southeastern corner. Not a lot to worry about early on, but this afternoon we'll get another batch rolling through. 3-4 o'clock, good timing. There's the 80s. Enjoy them today because big changes rolling tomorrow. Yet again, we're tracking the heat, but how long will it stick around? We'll let you know coming up in a few. Meantime, Tanya, you have been one busy lady as we've been tracking some big backups and plenty of accidents.
Yeah, and so it looks like we may have a new one that's now affecting this eastbound drive of 6th Avenue here, really out from Wadsworth. Sheridan just almost at a stop, really at a stop in those lanes and all of them. So we're hearing the accident may be southbound I-25 on the ramp that takes you into eastbound 6. That's significant. That is such a busy area right now with all the construction. So this is going to affect this drive probably for the next 15 or 20 minutes until they get that out of the way. 26 minutes though out of Lakewood, so it's not great news, and we are going to push in just a little bit to see these speeds as you're continuing through northbound I-25. They have been very slow, all because of that accident earlier that's cleared 58th Avenue on the northbound side, but nothing higher than really 30 miles an hour in through that entire stretch from about University up. Gary?
Tanya, thanks. It's 2 minutes after 8 right now. Firefighters in Arvada still investigating this early morning fire at the house in the 10,000 block of 60th Avenue. They say one person was treated for smoke inhalation. The fire is out now. It turns out it was contained to the garage.
So just a few minutes ago, Danielle was talking about all that lightning that we saw last night, and everyone is really talking about that storm still from last night. Viewers keep sending in their pictures. This is one really great one that we got. Matt Ruggles caught this lightning strike on camera in Thornton. We've received hundreds of photos, and you can see them on 9news.com. We've set up a slideshow for you. Well, there is a mess to clean up around DU this morning. Last night's storm tore apart this tree on South Gilpin Street. It snapped right at the bottom, but missed hitting the house. Just a couple of blocks away on High Street, it was a close call for this car. A huge tree limb fell just a few feet away. It covered part of the sidewalk along with several other fallen branches.
Just across the border in Wyoming, there was a large wildfire that is burning. The Lake Owen fire, as they're calling it, is burning about 30 miles west of Laramie. 300 acres have burned at last check. There are evacuations for some small towns and some campsites in the area. Crews are being called in from as far away as Craig to try and get that fire under control. Right now, Boulder looks a lot different than it did 10 months ago. That's how much time has passed since we saw water like this in the September floods. 9 News reporter Colleen Ferreira is actually in Lyons this morning. She's checking out the rebuilding there. And Colleen, the numbers are actually up there this year.
Good morning, Gary. The great news is that a lot of these places that were so devastated in the floods, they are bouncing back during these summer months, and that's exactly what we wanted to happen for all of them. Over here in Lyons Meadow Park, this place destroyed during the floods. Phase 1 is complete, and it was open last weekend for 4th of July for RVs and tent campers, and I heard it was pretty packed out here. People having a really good time here in Lyons. Let's take a closer look at some other areas affected. City of Boulder, we know they had some trouble coming out of the floods from last year. Hotel occupancy up 5.6% this year compared to last at this point. Average room rate for hotels 8.6%. Sales tax revenue without marijuana is at 4.6% this year so far, and that's up. With marijuana, they stand at about 5.3% up this year so far. They had a really strong 4th of July in the city of Boulder. They had a softball tournament, the 17th year for that softball tournament, and they said that 160 teams came to play from all across the country. They stayed in the city, they ate in the city, they really enjoyed all the activities, and they contributed to the economy. But what they're really noticing in Boulder is that a lot of people are still rebuilding their homes. A lot of those residents not really contributing to the economy because they don't have the money to do that. They're spending that money on their homes right now. Boulder County, we can definitely say the parks have been open and they experienced a pretty normal 4th of July. And Corey, we know that normal is okay this time of year because in Memorial Day, those parks, those camping areas weren't even open, so they will take it. Yes, it's all positive. It's great to see them all bouncing back. Colleen, thank you. A powerful typhoon is bringing strong winds and heavy rain to the southern Japanese island of Okinawa today. The storm is paralyzing travel and prompting U.S. forces based there to cancel all outdoor activities. Right now, there are about 10 injuries reported, and 1 man is missing from a fishing boat in the rough seas. The storm is packing sustained winds of 120 miles per hour and gusts of up to 148 miles per hour. Guests at hotels and motels in Greenwood Village will be limited to the amount of time that they can stay there. All 6 members of the City Council voted to pass an ordinance prohibiting hotel stays longer than 29 consecutive days within a 2-month period. Council members say it is a safety issue, citing a report from the police chief. The report found several hotels and motels which allow people to live there long term call for police more often. Opponents say it would displace people who have nowhere else to live. The ordinance does have exceptions. Those include extended stay hotels and hotels that have emergency related contracts with government agencies and nonprofits. This goes into effect on November 1st.
The man accused of shooting 2 Lakewood police officers Saturday night could be in a Jefferson County courtroom later today. 54-year-old Gordon Mensch faces first-degree attempted murder charges. His wife called police Saturday night to say her husband was despondent. The 2 officers that came to the house were shot. Officer Jonathan Key is back at home this morning after being released from the hospital yesterday. Officer Kimberly Collins continues to recover at the hospital. They both had their bulletproof vests on. A 3rd officer shot Mensch. He is still in the hospital.
This morning, still no sign of the Fort Collins Army veteran who disappeared on Saturday. 64-year-old George Gonsden has dementia. He wandered away from his home wearing a white shirt and gray pajama pants. The Air Force is now involved in the search. A military helicopter circled the skies above Fort Collins for hours yesterday. Gosden's wife says the family is now beginning to lose hope.
I don't know what I do without him. So he have to come back. He needs to come back.
Gonsden was also wearing a medic alert bracelet. Anyone with information is asked to call Fort Collins police. New York City police have arrested a 20-year-old woman who they believe left her baby at a Manhattan subway station. Police are questioning the mother. She was found just after midnight in New York City time. No charges have been filed yet. Police say the woman pushed her baby's stroller onto the platform and then got back onto the train. The baby, who is said to be 6 to 7 months old, was examined at a hospital and does not appear to be hurt. She's in the care of Child Protective Services.
The suspect in the Benghazi terror attacks will be back in court today. Ahmed Abu Khatallah has been charged with a deadly attack on the U.S. consulate back in 2012. He is the suspected ringleader of the attack that killed 4 Americans, including U.S. Ambassador to Libya Chris Stevens. Abu Khatallah has entered a plea of not guilty. Today, President Obama will ask Congress for more than $2 billion in emergency spending to deal with the border crisis. Unaccompanied migrant children from Central America have been arriving in the U.S. by the thousands. The White House request will focus on additional money for immigration judges, detention facilities, and legal aid to begin deportations. The president also announced that he will discuss the crisis at the border tomorrow. Meanwhile, the United Nations is pushing for them to be treated as refugees displaced by armed conflict. President Obama will come to Colorado tonight. He's going to be here to raise money for Senator Mark Udall's re-election campaign. He is set to deliver a speech about the economy tomorrow morning at Cheeseman Park in Denver and then attend a fundraiser. He'll leave Wednesday afternoon. We don't know yet how this will impact traffic in the area.
In just a few hours, the first retail marijuana stores will open for business in Washington state. Lines started forming overnight in front of the few stores that got last-minute approval to sell the marijuana. The store openings are expected to be accompanied by high prices and shortages. More than 2,500 people applied to become licensed growers, but fewer than 100 have received approvals. New York has become the latest state to allow the use of medical marijuana. Governor Andrew Cuomo signed the Compassionate Care Act yesterday in New York City. Under the bill, a doctor can prescribe marijuana to patients with serious conditions. The bill was passed last month.
In Louisiana, they are dealing with a bit of a different problem. Turns out the state distributed more than $1 million in food stamps to people who were dead. The state audit shows nearly 4,000 households received food stamps where the primary recipient was dead. That was just in 4 years, from 2009 to 2013. Yes. They don't have a way to figure out if anybody actually used the food stamps or a way to get any of that taxpayer money back.
Time now 8:10. A 5-year-old boy who loved Superman died. Now the community wants to create a memorial of the young boy with the Man of Steel logo, but the company says it won't allow it. Superman was Jeffrey Baldwin's superhero. He even wore a Superman costume on Halloween and jumped off chairs to pretend to be flying. Police say his grandparents starved him to death. A man from Ottawa, Todd Boyce, touched by the boy's death, raised money for a statue of the boy in his Superman costume. But DC Entertainment killed the idea. Boyce said the company didn't want to have the Superman character associated with child abuse. DC Entertainment is not talking about their decision. Instead, the S will be changed to a J on the statue.
Boy.
It's a tough one.
From a PR standpoint, that doesn't look very good if nothing else. CU Boulder just found some very tiny fossils of hedgehogs. They were previously unknown to science.
They lived in a British Columbia rainforest some 50 million years ago. They were only about 2 inches long, roughly the length of your thumb. The researchers also found fossils of an ancient relative of modern tapirs known as Heptodon. Scientists say they resemble a small rhino with no horn and a short trunk. Interesting.
Tiny little things.
Speaking of hedgehogs, this particular one isn't old. He's actually quite young. Meet Maru Taro and his brother Gonta. They're celebrity hedgehogs in Japan, believe it or not, and their series of Vine videos make us all laugh. They have a lot of Vine videos. Maru Taro recently learned how to eat off of chopsticks, and you can tell he's really excited for the World Cup semifinals to resume tomorrow. Kind of weird looking.
Never know what you're going to say on this show, but speaking of hedgehogs, there's something that...
2 hedgehog stories. All right. So it's a question for any potential home buyer. Should you take a chance on a fixer-upper? Our real estate expert has some things that you should consider before doing it.
I see your baby won't stop crying.
I can tell that you're struggling.
So today, I'm gonna help.
I'll come sit with your baby so you can take care of yourself.
We'll invite you over for a plating.
I'm gonna cook dinner for you.
Because we're your friends.
Your neighbor.
Your coworker.
Your family. Someone who cares.
For a parent who is struggling, asking for help can be the hardest thing to do. So reach out and offer. And together, we can help prevent child abuse and neglect. And remember, if you can't get a baby to stop crying, put them down in a safe place and walk away.
Never shake a baby.
So, you're looking for help with your mortgage. Worried about foreclosure? Messy stuff. We're a mortgage rescue company. We can help you keep your house. All we ask for in return is that you submit to our plans for galactic domination. We're not so different, you and I. Sign.
Yeah, this is not
Have you met my henchman, Radu?
Nice to meet you.
Radu.
We'll see you later.
If you're facing foreclosure, make sure you're talking to the right people. Speak with HUD-approved housing counselors free of charge at 888-995-HOPE.
We have a whole hour on 9 News at 9. More time to go in depth on the important issues affecting us all.
More time for more people. Our reporters connecting you to the right experts, bringing clarity to Colorado's complex issues.
9 News, everywhere.
The strength of everywhere is everyone. Our team of reporters connecting you to the right experts to help bring clarity to the issues that really matter to all of us and help make sense of a complex world. 9 News, everywhere.
I'm joined by realtor Wade Perry. Thank you so much for coming in. So we're talking about fix it or forget it.
Correct. And there's a lot of people, real estate's been hot in Denver for quite some time now, a couple years, coming out of the really deep recession from 09, 10, 11. And now that values are up, people are starting to say, gosh, I don't know if I can afford that property that's brand new. Maybe I should buy the property that I can fix up. I'm pretty handy with a hammer. I like going to Home Depot. I can do this. But Corey, there's some things that you really have to pay attention to. You really need to focus on location, math, time, and emotion. So I'll hit these quickly on each. And the first is location. You may see a great opportunity and the price may be low, but you have to ask yourself, do I want to live here? Do I want to live in this neighborhood? Is this where I want to call home? Is this where I want to walk to the grocery store or go biking, etc.? So if you don't like the location, you're never going to like it even if you fix it up. The second is the math, and that is, what's it really going to cost?
Yeah.
And I think that the one thing people don't do correctly is they don't look at what it's going to cost correctly. Get a licensed, bonded, insured, reputable contractor, not just your crazy Uncle Ernie who says he can fix stuff, right? And whatever number he gives you for each of the different projects, add 10%. Put a cushion in there because he's going to put it in for one base faucet or one standard slab of granite, and maybe you fall in love with an upgrade. Well, that starts costing a little bit more. Maybe you want the drawers in your kitchen that when you close them, they automatically suck back in.
Yeah, those are nice.
Exactly. Did you put those on your wedding registry?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Making a mental
those
note.
could pad the cost a little bit. So pad that by 10%. So take the cost of the remodel, boost it by 10, add back in the cost of the house, and whatever that total number is, try not to go higher than the most recent highest sale in the neighborhood. What you're trying to avoid is overpricing and the neighborhood won't support what you've put in.
Makes sense.
Then you come to time. How long am I going to be there? Am I going to be there for 1 year, 3 years? That's going to have one type of a remodel, or am I going to live there for 10?
That's such a hard question.
Very, because life can change. All of a sudden kids become part of it or kids are moving out. But the important part to think is, it also, how much time can I spread the remodel over? Am I going to do this over a 5-year period or do I need to do it quickly?
Right.
Now the last thing's probably the most important. And that's the emotional side. Even the strongest of relationships will be tested when you have orange extension cords and strange people coming to have coffee in your house at 7:30 for 6, 9, 12, 18 straight months. And you've got to really get home, not just you, but your spouse, on the realities of that. So location, math, time, emotion, you need to know it all. The last part is forget it. You need to invest in inspectors to tell you whether the property is sound. And I said inspectors being plural. You need to have a home inspector, a roof inspector, a sewer scope, a radon. All of these are investments, not expenses. You may get a report back from one of these inspectors, Corey, and you'll say, oh my God, I can't buy this. Maybe I should buy it. I've already invested this money. Don't go there. Be prepared to walk away from a bad situation and view those dollars as investments because they just might prevent you from making a bigger mistake.
Wow, a lot to think about.
Tons.
A lot.
All right, thank you very much, Corey. And we are looking at I-25 and 20th Avenue here. We were just taking a look at 270 because those speeds have slowed down significantly on that eastbound stretch that takes you from the Boulder Turnpike and I-25 on down to I-70. 12 minutes now there, where it should be in the single digits. Nothing in your way on that stretch. There certainly is, though, on eastbound 6th Avenue out from Wadsworth all the way to I-25. You're locked in there, and also on those ramps that are connecting you to southbound I-25. The problem problem being is that there was a report of an accident right around southbound I-25 in that ramp to eastbound 6th Avenue. So that is what's reflecting now a 33-minute drive out of Lakewood. So pretty hefty delays there. And if you want to give yourself extra time or even take Colfax or Alameda, might be a good bet. But Belen, we're talking about these temps and how they feel.
Girl, it is about 10 degrees cooler right now than where we were this time yesterday. We're in the 60s along I-25. We do have some 70s on the map. That's way out towards Sterling. Good morning to you folks that are watching from out there and right along the foothills. Those temperatures are in the 50s. But you know what? By this afternoon, it's still looking really nice. I still think you can get out there with those shorts, maybe not flip-flops, maybe some tennis shoes by this afternoon, closed-toe shoes. The temperatures will be in the 80s. How long will the 80s last, Danielle? And I've got that forecast when we return.
Gift giving is hard.
Gift giving is an art. What do you give the person who's got everything?
I gave her a heifer.
You're giving me a cow for my birthday? It's a farm animal.
It's more than a gift. A farm animal helps families in hunger. Gifts like this change lives.
Give different. Christmas, Valentine's Day, Hanukkah, whatever you want.
Give a family life. It's more than a gift.
It's the best gift I ever gave.
See yellow, think weather. Danielle Grant on 9 News.
The Wild Animal Sanctuary. Over 300 large carnivores on a 720-acre refuge. See them up close and in their natural habitats from our new Mile Into the Wild elevated walkway. Find us 30 miles northeast of Denver and at wildanimalsanctuary.org.
Bring this one.
Everywhere. A daily conversation with you about the things that really matter to all of us.
Connecting our team of reporters to the right experts, bringing clarity to Colorado's complex issues.
Everywhere. It's a partnership and a promise to you, giving you the choice to connect to the most live news and weather every day.
Everywhere on 9 News and Channel 20 with every newscast streamed live every day on 9news.com.
More news, more weather, more social, sharing the story of Colorado. 9 News everywhere.
We've got a big problem, and we need your help.
It's called sexual assault, and it has to stop.
We have to stop it. So listen up. If she doesn't consent, or if she can't consent,
It's a crime. It's wrong.
We need all of you to be part of the solution. This is about respect. It's about responsibility.
It's up to all of us to put an end to sexual assault. And that starts with you.
Because one is too many.
On a breaking news story, there are things you expect to see, crime scene tape and flashing lights. But the real story, turn around. It's the people, lives turned upside down. You'll see what happens. I'll show you what happens next. 9 News, everywhere.
Everyone, you know, around this time of year we track two things: severe weather and also the threat for wildfires. Yesterday we got a dose of some stronger storms throughout the afternoon and evening, hence all those wonderful pictures. Thank you for sending them in. And thank goodness that this rain that we're seeing is actually helping lower that threat for wildfires across our state. Now, how much rain have we gotten so far? Well, on average around this time of year, we have about 7.9 inches of rain. We're doing really good in the precipitation department, where we've had since January the 1st a little more than 8.5 inches around the metro area. And we're going to tag a little more onto that. In the past 24 hours, we've gotten about a 1/10 of an inch or so out towards DIA, with higher amounts you'll notice along that stretch on I-70 all the way towards the eastern plains, where we've had about 3 inches of rain. Now we're tracking a little bit of fog for your morning, especially right along the foothills and even down south, but any kind of fog that we've been seeing hasn't really been getting in the way of your commute this AM. A little bit of showers out towards the southeastern corner of the state, and other than that, the weather is pretty dry across Colorado. That will change this afternoon. Not everyone affected by the clouds. In fact, the webcam on I-76 at Julesburg showing lots and lots of sunshine. So as we go throughout the day, on and off showers, very different from where we were yesterday when we reached 100 degrees. Today your highs will be in the 80s. We're starting off with 60s along I-25 in the high country, 72 degrees. You want to escape that heat out towards the western slope this afternoon. You'll still get to 99. We'll have 80s along I-25 all the way into Kansas. Danielle, you've actually got a little tropical update for us.
Yeah, tropical storm Fausto beginning to form across parts of the eastern Pacific. I really don't anticipate this gaining enough momentum and high enough wind speeds to be considered a hurricane. And it's actually tracking off to the west. It's going to take a nice little northwesterly bend to it by Friday, looking at sustained wind speeds around 50 miles per hour. We have to get those up to about 74 before it can officially be classified as a hurricane. But again, tropical storm Fausto tracking off to the west into the Pacific. Back here in the US of A, we are talking about the potential for seeing some severe weather. That mainly will be across the Midwest and then stretch all the way in throughout parts of the Great Lakes and then in toward upstate New York. Isolated tornadoes, damaging winds, large hail, it's all going to be in the cards today. And with some of those stronger thunderstorms, definitely will come some pretty heavy downpours. In fact, some spots like Cleveland tacking on anywhere between 2 to 3 inches of rain within the next 24 hours. High temps today, a lot of folks actually enjoying the nice chill as our jet stream has sagged to the south just a little bit. 80s in Bismarck, Billings, 83 for us, 81 in Chicago, and then there's that heat down toward the southern tier. 107 in Phoenix, 99 for Dallas, 80s in Miami with low 90s in Boston, 60s in San Fran. So tonight we'll be down to about 59 degrees. Those showers wind down and our skies cleared. Tomorrow 93 degrees. Scattered storms returning to the forecast each and every afternoon. We stay in the 90s for the first half of the weekend, and then Tanya, it looks like we'll cool things off just a hair on Sunday to 89, which actually is seasonal for this time of the year.
I will take it. I will take 89. All right, so we are going to take a look at our map first. We have a new accident down on the southeast side that we want to tell you about. It looks like that stalled northbound I-25 right around Spear is not affecting anything that was already so slow earlier this morning. But westbound Arapahoe Road at Parker Road, you'll see flashing lights and EMS there as they continue to work on that. And then this. 6th Avenue here, all the way out, approaching Wadsworth now. It's very slow because of that accident on the interchange there, southbound I-25 to eastbound 6. Look out for this one to give you big delays. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Real-time traffic maps get you where you want to be, online and on time. The all-new 9news.com.
This is our home. Esta es nuestra comunidad. These are our families.
Todos los días nos esforzamos para contar sus historias,
contándole los temas de más importancia,
regardless of what language you speak.
That's why 9 News and Telemundo Denver have partnered together, sharing resources, joining together in investigations,
bringing you a fuller picture of what's happening in our state.
Porque las noticias nos pertenecen a todos.
Because the news belongs to all of us.
People who help, people who comfort, people who care.
Each month, the 9 Who Care Award celebrates volunteers. People whose selfless contributions make a positive impact in our community.
Go to 9news.com and click on the community page to nominate the person making a difference in your life.
Giving time, bringing comfort, spreading joy.
9 Who Care.
I've got my library card. Do you?
I've got mine.
A library card is your ticket to a world of information and resources. From books to movies and music to computer resources, free Wi-Fi and ebooks to trained staff waiting to help you.
I've got mine.
I've got mine.
Governor, I've got mine. Do you have yours?
I've got mine.
Do you have yours?
I've got mine.
Some of the smartest people in Colorado have library cards.
I've got my library card. Do you have yours?
Whatever your interest, whatever your dream, the library can help you get there. If you don't have a library card, visit your local library and get one today.
Be smart. Be smart.
Be smart. Get a library card.
Be smart. Get a library card.
From Maine to Maui, thousands of high school students across the country are getting in on the action by volunteering in their communities.
It's great helping others, and it feels good too. Are you in?
Whoa!
Anyone can do it. All it takes is a little time. Are you in?
Action teams of high school students are joining Volunteers of America and Major League Baseball players to help train and inspire the next generation of volunteers.
It's easy to start an action team at your school, so you too can get in on the action.
Are you in? Get in on the action at actionteam.org.
I'm Orion Samuelson.
And I'm Max Armstrong.
From the eastern plains to the western slope, we know how important agriculture is to Colorado.
And we're excited to tell those stories each weekend on This Week in Agribusiness.
Join us Sunday morning at 5 on Channel 20.
The Wild Animal Sanctuary. Over 300 large carnivores on a 720-acre refuge. See them up close and in their natural habitats from our new Mile Into the Wild elevated walkway. Find us 30 miles northeast of Denver and at wildanimalsanctuary.org.
This is 9 News.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to 9 News 8:30 on Channel 20. I'm Gary Shapiro.
And I'm Corey Rose. It's Tuesday, July 8th. It will be cooler today with temperatures in the 80s. Belinda DeLeon is joining us with more and a possibility of more showers today.
That's right, Corey and Gary. Today makes me feel like kind of just staying in my penguin slippers.
See?
Oh, I was going to say penguin slippers, but pajamas, yes.
Pajamas, yes. I had penguin slippers. That's why. Anyway, instead of looking for the clouds the cameras that have all the clouds, let's look for the ones that have all the sunshine. And not everyone across the state is going to see that cool down. In fact, here's a camera at I-76 at Julesburg. Good morning to all of you guys that are watching us out from northeast Colorado and the eastern plains. Lots of sunshine out there right now. Very different further to the west in Fort Collins, where we have that cloud deck over the mountains and over the city, but just a little bit, we're starting to see those clouds break up just a little, just a teensy. The temperature difference right now about 11 degrees. So that's what all the clouds along I-25 are doing right now. Colorado Springs, temperature difference from the last 24 hours, about 17 degrees. So your highs for today will be in the 80s. Right now we're starting off in the 60s along I-25 from Fort Collins all the way down south. Monument Hill in the 50s. Sterling right now, a little bit more sunshine there, 70s right there. And right along the foothills, those temperatures are in the 50s. Here are your afternoon highs. 80s from Fort Collins down south to Denver, Castle Rock 79, 68 in Loveland. And we are tracking that chance for some on and off showers as we go throughout the day through 1 o'clock, looking at drier weather, but after that we're not done with the rain. In the foothills at that time we could be seeing some showers. We'll have a mix of clouds and sun as we head through the afternoon, and then the overnight sky's looking a whole lot better, and we actually have that warmer and hotter forecast for you coming up in just a minute. Danielle and I will detail all of that for you. Right now a look at your morning drive, and Tanya's got all the details for us on that. Hey Tanya.
Hey Belinda, so this is what we're looking at here are these delays along the eastbound side of 6th Avenue coming in from approaching Wadsworth, all stacked up all the way from Sheridan on over to I-25. We had this earlier accident. Let's take a look at your drive time. 36 minutes now. Oh, this is just painful to even see. As you continue to watch as this tries to loosen up, it may be a good idea if you're heading out the door right now just to take an alternate. Colfax, Alameda on the south side. That is just not going to get much better anytime soon here as we continue to get closer and closer to our 9 o'clock hour. We have another accident now here on the southeast side. Westbound Arapahoe Road, that right at Parker Road. So look out for those flashing lights to slow you down, guys.
It's been a tough drive this morning. All right, well, if you live in Arvada, you might see canines training to find explosives today. It's part of a test developed by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. It's at Arvada West High School. For a canine team to become certified, the animal must identify 10 explosive compounds, achieving 100% detection rate.
Other news, Donald Sterling is expected to be in court today. The LA Clippers owner has been called to the stand to testify in the case against his estranged wife's $2 billion deal to sell the team. Sterling skipped yesterday's opening of the case in an LA courtroom. The first testimony came from a neurologist who said the 80-year-old has Alzheimer's. He was caught on camera sleeping at a Yankees game, and now he is suing 2 ESPN broadcasters for defamation. Andrew Rector says that he wants $10 million for mental anguish. He admits he fell asleep during the April 13th game between the Yankees and the Red Sox, but he says the announcers used, quote, an avalanche of disparaging words such as fatty and stupid when describing him. ESPN, Major League Baseball, and the Yankees are named as defendants in the suit. We've looked at the tapes. We can't find those words.
We can't. We'll see what happens. 4 people were hurt yesterday after a roller coaster accident in California Six Flags. It hit a tree branch. You can see it there. It happened on the Ninja Coaster at the Magic Mountain Park in Santa Clarita. The front car was dislodged. About 24 visitors were stuck dangling 30 feet in the air for nearly 3 hours. Colorado National Monument is not going to be designated a national park just yet. Colorado Representative Scott Tipton and Colorado Senator Mark Udall say that more dialogue is needed before the monument should become the state's 5th national park. The announcement comes more than a year after Tipton and Udall started taking public comment about the designation.
All right, check out these photos of the lightning last night. These obviously taken at Coors Field. They were sent to us by viewers Shannon Smith, Mike Minter, and Drew Litton. Thank you, guys. The game was delayed a little bit due to the rain, and then the Rockies ended up losing to the Padres 6-1. The teams face off again tonight at Coors Field. Hopefully it won't look like this, but there's a chance.
That's true. Those pictures are unbelievable. Well, today our former traffic reporter Amelia Earhart will be heading into the final parts of her trip around the world. She'll be leaving Papua New Guinea, heading for a small island in the Gilbert Island chain in the Pacific Ocean. Yesterday, she wrote on Facebook that she and co-pilot Shane Jordan visited the Amelia Earhart Memorial to pay their respects to the woman who inspired the trip. She'll be finishing her trip around the world on Saturday when she lands back at Rocky Mountain Metropolitan Airport.
And today, Amelia and Shane will fly over Howland Island, the spot of the original Amelia Earhart. She was supposed to land when she left New Guinea. That's where she made her last radio call back in 1937. They never did find her plane. Amelia and Shane will be live tweeting from the cockpit during today's flights. They will relay their thoughts as they go over that area. You can join the conversation. Just follow the hashtag #FlyWithAmelia. You can also track her flight by going to the AmeliaEarhartProject.com website.
Time now 8:35. An experimental device may dramatically change the way doctors treat patients with failing lungs. The potentially life-saving device was designed in Pittsburgh and has been used in 29 countries. It hasn't been approved for use here. 9 News reporter Whitney Wild introduces us to a man from Oklahoma who became the first American to get the HemoLung.
After a double lung transplant didn't work, Jonathan Sacker was running out of options.
As a family, we had pretty much decided to turn off the ventilator.
Sacker suffers from cystic fibrosis and underwent the transplant to replace failing lungs. But when his new organs were unable to rid his body of carbon dioxide, Sacker's family said they turned to an experimental device in hopes of another chance.
That machine is a lifesaver.
Sacker was the first person in the United States to receive an advanced medical machine called a HemoLung. The product is designed to remove toxic CO2 from Sacker's blood, which gave him extra time to receive yet another transplant.
Our body is very good at getting rid of carbon dioxide, mainly because of our lungs. But if those aren't working, that's where this artificial lung steps in.
Not yet approved in the United States, Sacker's medical team worked to get special permission and organized a delivery of the artificial lung from Canada. 9 News health expert Dr. John Torres says while it bought Sacker some time, researchers are decades away from a viable artificial lung.
It's not very mobile to begin with, and it's one of those devices that can just be used in a hospital setting while they're waiting for their lung transplant to come through, and then the lung transplant is what they can do long term.
But for the man with the odds against him, he can only say thanks.
I wouldn't be here if we hadn't got it.
Whitney Wild, 9 News.
Well, testing and the approval process are more strict in the U.S. than in Canada. It could take years before the maker of the HemoLung gets approval from the FDA.
I'm not really into like a self-analysis type thing, so I don't know that I've learned anything. Well, it might be my only opportunity for a record of any sort.
That 74-year-old is going for a world record, the oldest woman to hike the entire Appalachian Trail. Her name is Nan Ringsner. She started in Georgia and reached the halfway mark in Pennsylvania. In all, the trip is 2,180 miles. She and a partner set out in March. They've encountered rain, rattlesnakes, almost anything in between, but she is doing great and says that she just wants to do the trip because she likes hiking, right?
She's amazing. It's good.
Friends aren't always the same age or even similar ages. This duo finds common interests, although they are 8 decades apart. It's an awesome story. You'll want to see this coming up.
Most television
isn't real. People on TV are told what to say,
where to walk, what to do. Everything is choreographed, planned.
Fake. Wait, hold up.
Dude, we're real ladies. Real ladies.
With real opinions.
Talking about
real issues.
And we're holding nothing back. Nothing. Get ready, America. This is The Real. Let's do this.
The Real, coming to Channel 20 this fall.
Algebra 2. Foreign languages. And finally, biology. Who among you will step up to their challenge?
Me.
Yeah, I'll do it. Me too. Sign me up.
Take on the tough classes now. You need them to prepare for college.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Helping others with a big goal. The fundraising website Kickstarter helps people attain their dreams like buying a home. But a man named Zach Brown's dream is to make a potato salad and take it worldwide.
Was ever going to blow up this big.
Since birth, Zach's middle name has been Danger. Seriously. Now his idea is what's in danger of blowing up.
I thought, I've never made potato salad, so I should try making some potato salad.
It started with prepping for Independence Day.
This week, people were talking a lot about potato salad.
And anyway, what goes better with the 4th of July than some potato salad? You want some?
The idea is simple. Donate money to make a batch of potato salad. If you donate at least $5, you get to pick an ingredient, and we all have our twists.
Probably be some, Thousand Island ketchup and mustard. BW3's wing sauce. Cinnamon, yeah.
But for Zach?
There's that potato salad, like the yellow one. I really like that one.
It started a day ago, and now he can hardly keep up.
We just got more backers while we were standing here.
The funding ends August 2nd.
And then we do a potato salad party. So it's crazy that it's just spun out of control like this.
People want his potato salad from around the world.
People tweeting in Japan, and we got a comment from someone in Norway who said that they were really excited that we were doing this potato salad Kickstarter. They hadn't seen anything like that before. France, there was a lot of tweets from France this morning.
The hard part will be getting all of the backers in his house.
You can see the kitchen's a little small, but I think that we can make do.
And for those outside of the country?
And then ship it across the world.
And the potato salad idea makes people smile.
I feel like, if everyone had a little scoop of potato salad every day, the world would be a better place.
What? First off, was that the dude that also said put cinnamon in it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
That's weird.
Okay.
To each their own.
Kickstarter. I mean, you can kickstart anything, right?
Potato salad.
That is a wild one.
Yeah.
All right, so baseball's All-Star Game is coming up in just in 1 week, actually, not even a week in Minnesota. The Twins are rolling out a first for the nation's ballparks. In time for that game, it is a self-serve beer machine, a couple of them actually, that'll allow people to choose between 4 different types of brews. Before anybody can just walk up and grab and guzzle, though, they have to have their age verified and get a vending card. Customers can get up to 48 ounces of beer every 15 minutes.
Whoa.
A beer an inning? Well, I don't know.
My goodness.
Anyway, that may seem like a lot, but there will be workers near the machines to make sure that you haven't had too much. No word on whether the machines will be added to other stadiums anytime soon, but I am just guessing it's going to be a hit.
Tap, snap, tilt, enjoy. Oh boy. All right, so is the cupcake crumbling? According to the Wall Street Journal, Crumb's Bake Shop is closing all its stores for good. It first opened in 2003 in Manhattan and it went public in 2011, but has since been suffering. It had stores in 10 states and the District of Columbia.
That was supposedly the original, right?
Yeah.
Now there are all kinds of cupcake shops.
That's true. That's true. That's sad. It's going away. Pancakes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yes, I will do that. Today, a short stack is only 56 cents at IHOP. It's the restaurant's way of saying thank you for keeping them in business for 56 years. The promotion goes all day from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Keep in mind, it's just one short stack per person, Tanya. Just one short stack per person.
And the bacon is extra.
I just say hold up and let's go back to Crumbs for a second. When I lived in New York, the Crumbs cupcake was my favorite. I mean, they're bigger than your fist. They're so big.
And no more.
And no more.
I know.
But, so they're essentially carrying the baked version, like the box that you can bake yourself at a local store. It may start with a T. I'm not going to go there.
Oh.
But I'm just wondering if that's going to continue. And then you can just bake your own.
Do they taste as good?
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. It's like the bagels.
Give it a try and bring them in.
Okay.
Okay.
You got it.
Deal.
All right. So we're talking about a much improved picture here along 6th Avenue. They've got that accident out of the way right at I-25. So now it's good. But of course, our IT guy said, oh, well, now. And he just sat in it for like 40 minutes. So we are not doing so badly there. It went down from about 40 minutes on that drive to 30 minutes. And it should be loosening up pretty quickly. But also along the Boulder Turnpike, we're seeing these slow speeds, 30 miles an hour. Specifically across Sheridan, that area of construction, then up into that Broomfield exit also. So you've got a 40-minute drive there up to Boulder. So getting to Louisville Superior will take you a little bit less than going all the way to Boulder. But on the eastbound side, we have been so thankful that we've had that sun not even in existence today because of the blanket over the sky. We haven't had to deal with any sun glare. We love it. All right, come back. There's more.
The Wild Animal Sanctuary. Over 300 large carnivores on a 720-acre refuge. See them up close and in their natural habitats from our new Mile Into the Wild elevated walkway. Find us 30 miles northeast of Denver and at wildanimalsanctuary.org.
Colorado stories. You find them down every busy highway and lonely dirt road. My job? To reveal the character of our state, one character at a time. From the eastern plains to the western slope, Colorado's story is everywhere.
9 News, everywhere. See red, think sports. Drew Soicher on 9 News.
Hi, I'm Greg Moss. During an emergency such as a chemical spill or a wildfire, officials often place emergency notification calls to the residents of the affected areas with warnings and instructions. In many counties, you can now receive these life-saving phone calls on your cell phone. It's easy and it's free. Just log on to www.911colorado.org. Click on Sign Up for Emergency Notification Service and then click on your county. Do it today and register all of your family's cell phones.
Most television
isn't real. People on TV are told what to say,
where to walk, what to do. Everything is choreographed, planned,
fake. Wait, hold up.
Dude, we're real ladies. Real ladies.
With real opinions.
Talking about
real issues.
And we're holding nothing back. Nothing. Get ready, America. This is The Real. Let's do this.
The Real, coming to Channel 20 this fall.
I'm so fancy. Can't you taste this gold? Remember my name about to blow.
If you couldn't stay, I love the way they sneak in. If you couldn't stay up last night, that's what you missed on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash reunited with Neil Young, sort of, for a rendition of Iggy Azalea's hit song, Fancy. The real Neil was kicking off a tour in Iceland, but Jimmy does a pretty good impression of him, I must admit.
He certainly does. And this is, blowing up on the internet this morning, as you might consider. I like how his hair is backlit. That's nice.
He's so talented.
Funny.
Every time you think that he just can't do something else, he's like, oh, I can also do this and the harmonica.
He breaks out the Neil Young quite often. I think that's one of his best impressions.
It is. The first time he ever did it, I just remember the reaction.
It was with Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, was it the first time?
Yeah, they did a duet. Yeah, Neil and Bruce did a duet.
Of course you know that.
Of course, it was the real Bruce Springsteen.
Just the very particular pitch of whine that's in that, voice.
Awesome.
Very good.
All right, new this morning, already trending. J.K. Rowling releases a new short about an adult Harry Potter. 34 years old, his hair is graying. Really? Story told through a newspaper story written by gossip correspondent Rita Skeeter. It describes Harry, Ron, and Hermione attending a Quidditch, World Cup game. I remember Quidditch. There is also other info about the characters. You can read the story posted on Rowling's Pottermore website.
Tony's excited about it.
I got very excited about that. I happen to be a huge Harry Potter fan. I asked my husband if we could go for a vacation to go
to
Harry
Potter Land, play a little Quidditch?
And he said no. It was a very firm no.
Well.
Keep trying.
Okay. Well, so here's the deal. You're going to need to stop what you're doing, come to the television right at this very moment. Okay, so take a break, and we're going to show you something that's going to leave a smile on your face.
Yeah, this is a terrific story. It's a story of an unlikely friendship between a preschooler and a World War II veteran in Minnesota.
Boyd Hupert with our sister station Care in Minneapolis shows us why sometimes it takes a child to bring out the best in adults.
Emmett Richner is 3, going on 4. And for no particular reason, he is driving with his eyes closed, which would not appear to be going particularly well. Fortunately, Emmett has a mentor.
I got a bagger that fits on the back.
Erling Kindom is 89, going on 90.
What's this?
And this has been going on
Ready, set, go!
for nearly a year. Emmett's parents had to laugh.
He blocked me out.
The first time they saw their preschooler racing a man who fought in the Second World War.
I told you he was fast.
I'm super fast. You want to play croquet?
Which stick are you going to have?
The man they'd waved to, but barely knew,
What's this, Erling?
from the house
right through
next door.
Boom!
They're together pretty much every day.
Did you find a worm?
Nope, it's a bug.
Emmett first crossed into Erling's yard when he caught a glimpse
See these yellow flowers?
of his favorite food.
These are going to be tomatoes.
Every time he saw me out there, he would come running over. Erling, got any tomatoes?
Can you throw a baseball with me?
Every day,
Erling can't see so good.
a new adventure.
Oops.
We saw Erling over working on this bike that looked like it was from the 60s. And I thought, there's no way he's going to get on this bike. And he did. It took him a couple times to get on his bike, and I thought, am I going to have to call 911? Please don't fall over.
Anika Richner wondered if so warm a friendship
You want to play Star Wars with these?
would survive the winter.
One day I looked out the window and I took this picture because it was just so cute. He was snow blowing a path from his back door straight to our back door so they could visit. Yep.
You know what this is from? It's from Erling.
Where's the fish pool?
He likes to show him things and draw him pictures and explain.
So I can learn about how fishing works.
He's just taught him so much.
Which is why those tears have been coming more often.
We decided back a month ago to move.
Brian Richner says their growing family simply needs more space.
I love him.
It is the hardest part about moving.
Yeah, it's tough.
And change
It's tough.
is coming for Erling, too.
Yeah. When you think about it.
Soon he'll be 90.
Yeah.
His wife is ill, and just days ago, Erling's kids finally convinced him it's time to trade his house and yard for a senior apartment.
Erling, come over here.
Till moving trucks roll.
I can hear you.
Goodbye. We'll have to wait.
Put a washer on.
This January-December friendship still has a bittersweet July.
Just do it by hand slow first.
Well, there's no replacement for Erling. You won't find a neighbor like him.
So you put the washer on first?
That's right.
Boyd Hupert, KARE 11 News, Farmington.
Sounds like it's tight.
Wow.
Not a great story.
You just hope that somebody will profoundly affect your children's life at some point in their time. Well, Emmett will celebrate his 4th birthday at his new home on September 1st, but his parents say that Erling is going to be the first person on his guest list.
I hope so.
Yes.
I hope they keep in touch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be great. All right.
Weepy.
I am weepy.
I know. It's such a great story. All right. It is time to check in with Danielle Boleyn.
Both of them.
Both of them?
Yeah.
One of them. One or the other.
I'll try and keep it together as well. That was just a wonderful story, and I hope that reporter gets an Emmy. So wonderful. All righty, let's take a look at your forecast. The cooler temperatures, the cloud cover, and the chance for rain has lowered our pollen index for trees and grasses, and we're not registering anything for weeds. So those of you who suffer from allergies, this is some good news. A live look over the metro area right now as we have a cloud, a blanket of clouds, if you will, just hovered right along I-25. Now, in the past 24 hours, the biggest accumulations have been along I-70, where we've seen accumulations up to about 3 inches in areas like Strasburg and even Burlington. So far, our weather radar is showing indications of a little bit of fog down south around Colorado Springs, but even areas of patchy fog have not been getting in the way of your morning commute. Some very light rain in the southeastern corner of the state. And just take a look at your drought index, because this is the area that is so desperately needs that rainfall. So we're going to continue to watch that chance for rain later in the day for this part of the state. The current temperatures are at 62 for DIA. Humidity will be at its most along I-25. Very dry out towards the western slope as we go throughout the day. So maybe a bad hair day, but that's the least of our worries. Here's that chance for some rain on and off, especially in the high country into this afternoon around the metro area, and then skies clear overnight. But Danielle, good news, our highs for today are only in the 80s.
Yes, absolutely. You know what, Belen, we're looking off toward the western Pacific, where we do have Typhoon Neoguri, actually been downgraded from a super typhoon that was just a couple of hours ago or so, but you can see it's still lashing out across parts of Japan, really packing a very powerful punch. They've had strong winds, flooding a lot of folks. I mean, tens of thousands of folks having to be evacuated because of that storm. We're keeping an eye on that, as well as what's going on across the Midwest, parts of upstate New York, where we do have a threat for seeing some severe weather today. Some of those storms potentially dropping 1 inch to 2 inches across town. A lot of folks in the 80s today, 90s, and triple digits down to the south. Back here at home, we'll fall to about 59 overnight, and back to the 90s we go as we head toward the rest of the work week.
Jeremy Hohola, winner of the Colorado Broadcasters Award for Investigative Reporting and Station of the Year for the 15th year in a row. 9 News, everywhere. 9 Teachers Who Care has recognized nearly 100 Colorado teachers who go above and beyond. Help us honor the next great teachers. Visit the community page on 9news.com. Nominate a teacher for the 9 Teachers Who Care Award.
The morning ritual. Get the kids ready, get ready for work. It's like a sprint just to get out the door. We get you quickly up to speed on your world, like a loyal friend who's got your back.
That's us, and a lot more.
9 News, everywhere.
So, you're looking for help with your mortgage. Worried about foreclosure? Messy stuff. We're a mortgage rescue company. We can help you keep your house. All we ask for in return is that you submit to our plans for galactic domination. We're not so different, you and I. Sign.
Yeah, this is not what we...
Have you met my henchman, Radu?
Nice to meet you.
Radu.
We're just we'll see you later.
If you're facing foreclosure, make sure you're talking to the right people. Speak with HUD-approved housing counselors free of charge at 888-995-HOPE.
I've got my library card. Do you?
I've got mine.
A library card is your ticket to a world of information and resources. From books to movies and music to computer resources, free Wi-Fi and ebooks to trained staff waiting to help you.
I've got mine.
I've got mine.
Governor, I've got mine. Do you have yours?
I've got mine. Do you have yours?
I've got mine.
Some of the smartest people in Colorado have library cards.
I've got my library card. Do you have yours?
Whatever your interest, whatever your dream, the library can help you get there. If you don't have a library card, visit your local library and get one today.
Be smart. Be smart.
Be smart. Get a library card.
Be smart. Get a library card.
Colorado's bright summer sun is perfect for spending time outdoors, so make sure you and your family get plenty of water. Kids can get dehydrated quickly, so make sure they're drinking lots of water when out in the summer heat. And for grown-ups, being dehydrated can actually sap your energy. It's the most common cause of daytime fatigue. Try adding citrus fruits and strawberries to your water to add natural, healthy flavors, and eat foods high in water content, like watermelon. For more hot ideas for a wet summer, go to 9healthfair.org or check us out on Facebook and Twitter.
A visual feast of color, movement, and pageantry, all free for your whole family. The Colorado Black Arts Festival, July 11th through the 13th in historic Denver City Park West. To learn more, go to callback.org. See you at the Colorado Black Arts Festival.
See blue, think news. Kyle Dyer on 9 News. 9 News at 9 and 9 News at 10. Not just what happened, but what happens next and what it all means for you. 9 News, everywhere.
At 11 on Channel 20, 9 News at noon on Channel 9. Take care.
Bye.
9 News, everywhere. Get the news anytime at 9news.com or on the 9 News app for smartphones and tablets.